guys, welcome to Coog Cinema Reviews. My name is Danielle Jacobo.
And I'm Eduardo Flores.
And today we're going to be introducing a new segment where we review and recap television shows. This week we're going to be focusing on Game of Thrones. There was a season premiere, episode 1, DragonStone,
Yes.
and we're just going to be talking about what we thought about the episode, recapping it, and hopefully you guys watch and comment and let us know your theories and what you thought of the episode. And just before we get started, this is definitely a segment for people who've already watched the episode because we're going to be talking about it in detail. So if you haven't seen it yet, this isn't going to be like a general review. So
Lots of spoilers.
Yeah, just beware.
Please don't get mad at us when we spoil everything.
Because we are. So Eduardo, just generally, what did you think about the episode?
I think for a season premiere, this is really, really huge in terms of the story. I know a lot of people, at least a lot of what I've seen is that people didn't think it was that important, but I don't know why they would think that considering we have the huge meetup of Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, and Cersei coming very soon, considering that we have what the Hound said, at least this is the biggest takeaway for me. The Hound, when he looked into the fire and he saw sort of like a prophecy, when he mentioned the mountain with the arrowhead, that can either be in reference to literally the mountain, his brother, or the dragon glass mountain that Daenerys is at right now, which Jon needs. So it's like, wow, okay,
yeah.
A lot of stuff is happening very, very quickly.
Yeah, it was a very subtle episode, and I think the people that complain about it were wanting like a lot of action to happen in the season premiere. But yeah, it was a lot of subtle stuff, but it was really big and it was really important. Like everything that happened really mattered and is like laying the foundation for the rest of the season.
Right. I mean, I can understand why people didn't like it considering the last few episodes of season 6 was just pure boom, here's everything that's happening like over and over and over again. I
think since there's only 7 episodes, I think they are going to pick up really quickly.
Right.
Like I think this should definitely be the slowest episode. And then like Game of Thrones has a history of the first episode always being like the slowest.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not worried about it. Like I was satisfied with it. I was fine. Like when it first ended, I was like, I wanted a little bit more, but I went back and thought about it and I was like, well, actually a lot happened and they're really going to pick it up, I think.
It was just a lot of like you said, subtle things that they mentioned that just, if you dive into it, it means a lot, but at first glance, it kind of just doesn't, it's just something that character says.
Yeah, and I think you want so much more because this premiered later than the seasons usually do. The seasons usually premiere in like April or May. This one's happening in July, so it's like we've been waiting a really long time.
Right.
And you want to see everything happen at once, but like they're building to it, which I think is good.
Right. Yeah, it did start later. I think that's because of all the stuff that's happening. I would assume that they started later because they have to edit a whole lot.
Well, and I think they also started later because winter is here. Winter is here, by the way. And I think they
6 seasons of them saying that, now it's finally
here. We're here. We made it. But yeah, I think they wanted to actually film like in a winter setting, so they were waiting for the weather to change. I think that's what made it prolonged production even more, is that they wanted it to be accurate, which I mean, it looks pretty cold.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, you can definitely tell winter has come already in the show. So I guess
so much happening.
so much.
Yeah.
I guess we can start with the cold open. So we're just gonna take it like scene by scene now and give just like a recap and what we thought as we do the recap.
Right.
So the cold open with Arya as Walder Frey was so satisfying.
I'll be honest, I got confused because I had to, like, the episode was starting, I had to go to my car to get something real quick, and I have a DVR and I could just pause it, but I was like, no, I want to watch it as it's happening, so I like ran to my car and ran back in, and by the time that happened, I was like, wait, why is Walder Frey on the screen? And then, because I forgot that she
like, am
murdered
I watching
him.
season 6?
Yeah, because they did show like a little, like, recap, I guess, of season 6 before the show started, so I got really confused. I was like, wait, what is happening? It's 7:06. Why is this still happening?
Yeah, I think everyone was. And then, like, if you give it a second, I think the actor who plays Walder Frey, I don't know his name, but he's really good. Like, I think he did such a good job of, like, being himself, but also showing that there was something off. So, like, you felt it, and, like, you're like, please be Arya, please be Arya. And then it is.
She's turned into, like, I remember I didn't like Arya for a long time. And, yeah, now she's better now.
She's so good. Like, when she looked at the girl and was like, when people ask what happened, tell them the North remembers. I was like, oh, finally, because that's like so symbolic, because that's where the Red Wedding happened.
Right.
Those are the people who killed, Rob and his wife and the baby and her mother. And like, it was just so satisfying to finally see her get that revenge.
Right, and it's funny that like Arya's still behind on the story.
Yeah, she is. She
And
needs to catch
her,
up.
watching her like knowing what you know and watching Arya is it gets a little like you say those things, but it's like you don't know what's happening like just north of you. And man, that's what I'm really looking forward to is when Arya just kind of everyone dumps the plot on her, and she just sits there like mind blown for a second.
Yeah, because she's been off to the side for so long. Like
Right.
she did the thing in Bravos with the faceless men, and was running around with the Hound.
I have a question about that. So like, so Arya broke their laws, right?
Yeah.
So
Why is she still like?
Well, technically, someone should be trying to kill her right now, right? And someone did, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
shouldn't
she
they
broke
be
the
still
laws.
trying to kill her?
I don't know, because she had that moment with what is his name? Just the faceless man.
Jack and Hagar.
Okay, yeah. She had the moment with him where he was like, she was supposed to kill you, but you're here, and there she is, and then there's her face on the wall, and it kind of is like he had like a respect for her.
I guess, but I feel like you would think that there's more than one faceless man, right? We got that. So why? I don't know. I feel like there's something.
It might come back to haunt her.
I feel like it's going to.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point, I don't think Arya's gonna live much longer. I think she's gonna
Because of them?
Right. I don't see because we're gonna have this big war soon. I don't see her being there. Because she still wants to kill the Hound as well.
Yeah.
So it's like she has to kill him at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If anything, I feel like she's gonna get to Cersei at some point, and then someone's gonna kill her.
I don't want her to kill Cersei.
I don't either, because I want Cersei to have a more like.
I want Jaime to kill Cersei.
That's a theory.
We can get to that.
Oh man,
we'll get to that
I
when
want
we
to talk
get to
about
Jaime
that.
and Cersei. But right after the cold open, we go and like we see like a brief scene of the White Walkers. And is that the giant?
Yeah, no, they have three. They have three giants.
Three giants.
And because we were led to believe that there was only one left.
Yeah.
And they killed him, but now there's two more.
Yeah, that
Lord.
was really surprising, and that was just a really good brief scene.
I think that was my favorite part of the episode, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, oh hey, look, there's a giant. Oh, there's
Oh,
two more.
there's
Oh
a
no.
few.
And like, oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many White Walkers.
Yeah, I know, and I think that scene was just so short and like brief, but it said so much. Like it just shows you like they're coming, they're on the way, and there's a lot of them.
Just marching along.
Yeah, just on their
Shouldn't
way.
they almost be there?
Yeah,
Because when Jon Snow first saw like how many there were, they weren't that far away from the wall. I don't think.
No, they should.
They should like next 2 episodes. They should probably be there by now.
Yeah.
Unless they just like stop.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, they're moving. They've
Right,
been moving for a while.
Because like they don't, from what we know, they don't get exhausted, right? They don't. There's no physical limitations for them that we know of, besides like Dragonglass. So it's like they shouldn't stop at all.
Yeah, they've been moving. And then right after that, we see that Bran makes it to Castle Black.
Yeah, he finally got there.
Finally.
That's another thing that I never thought was gonna happen.
Honestly, the first thing I thought was like his friend had to drag him all that way. Like
she doesn't even want to be there.
She must be so tired.
She really doesn't. Like honestly, she doesn't want to be there. Like she never did. But then the Raven was like, "No, you gotta do it." And she was like, "Okay, I guess."
Yeah.
My brother's dead, so I have nothing else to do.
So just drag him along.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that was all we saw from Bran too. Like I feel like he's going to be really important this season and the next. Like they've been building up to his character for so long, and it's he's obviously destined for something greater. It's just that it's taken a while to develop, and I think we're finally going to see it this season because he becomes the Three-Eyed Raven, right? I mean. So
I hope that they don't do, and we'll get to this later, but I'll just mention it now. When you know how like Sam is, they're all skeptical of Sam and the White Walkers and stuff like that. I hope we don't have that with Bran.
Oh,
where it's like we have a whole episode where he's like, "Oh, you're not the Three-Eyed Raven. You don't know anything."
I don't think so.
You didn't see the
like
White
I said,
Walkers.
they only have 7 episodes. They have to move stuff quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have another season after this, and I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'm gonna get that.
They need to really start tying things up and like really evolving.
They should be.
The whole series has been a build to a lot of stuff that we're waiting for. Like the whole series is built to Daenerys making it to Westeros, to Bran becoming the Three-Eyed Raven. I mean, Jon finally made it back to Winterfell. Sansa finally made it back, but it's like you gotta move. Like,
we finally got the confirmation that Jon is a Targaryen. Still haven't gotten over that.
finally. I mean, I was hoping. I think we were all hoping for it, but
I figured we all
it's
knew.
just really, yeah.
It's just we were kind of like, are you gonna do
waiting,
it?
yeah, for that validation. Yeah, and so then after Bran makes it to Castle Black, that's all we really see of him for the episode. And then we move into one of the, I think what's going to be one of the biggest storylines in this season and the next is like Winterfell. Like Jon and Sansa, they're back home, but there's some
already
conflict.
mad. I'm already mad that
What?
she's, because
You don't like Sansa?
no,
Oh.
never have. She's always the problem.
Oh my god.
She's such a problem. And like from even when, do you remember when she was like down for Joffrey and like
That was a long time ago. She's changed
doesn't
so
matter.
much.
But
She's changed.
Look at
so
it.
She has the best character development in the show.
not really when
I think
she's
does.
this close to betraying Jon.
Because
All
look
of-
how he's treating her.
But I mean, it's, you're being, but literally it's because Littlefinger is like, hey, you should.
No,
This is your
but,
place.
like okay, so the whole scene where
Jon's a
they're
bastard, you
going
shouldn't-
back and he's like, we should give the houses to the people, you know, who they've belonged to for generations, and she's like, no, we should give the houses to the people who fought for us in this last war. And
That was the other thing that pissed me off. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I
I
get
agree
it.
with
The
her.
Boltons, yes, I get it. The reason why you would just not want to work with the Boltons at all, like I get
Yeah.
that. But you have this bigger problem where you're literally fighting zombies that can die because you don't have the
Yeah.
things that you need, and you're really gonna be petty
I think
right now.
I think she just wants to have a say. Like I think she wants to have a role in governing Winterfell, which she deserves. And Jon's
Yeah.
treating her like a little girl, and it's not fair because she's the reason he won the Battle of the Bastards. His arrogance is what almost got him killed and made him lose Winterfell. Jon is so arrogant right now.
I just feel
Eduardo,
like
I didn't know we were gonna get into this. I didn't know. I know this is gonna be a thing.
the first review me and Danielle do, we're already fighting everything.
Over Jon and Sansa. I like Sansa. I like Jon, but he's arrogant. And
I don't know. I just feel like Sansa has always been a problem, and if she, like literally dating back to where she ruined Arya's life, kind of with the whole Joffrey thing, ruined her dad's life.
okay, that's
Dad is
not
possibly
her fault.
dead.
That's Joffrey.
By the way, I don't think Ned's dead. Read a theory online. I was like,
Is he a White Walker or something?
no. Is that he was in apparently he was in prison the same time Jack and Hagar was in prison. So it's like they could have just like took his face. Yeah, I don't
Maybe that'd be.
Game of Thrones theories
that'd
are
be
fun.
yeah, they are.
And we'll
There's
get
so
to another
many.
one in a second.
Yeah, but I mean, Sansa and Jon are having some conflict. I think it might lead to some really big problems down the road, and I think they also have the conflict of like Sansa wanting him to pay more attention to the war going on in the south. You know, Cersei's the queen, and Jon's like, I'm not really worried about that. She's not going to come down here. You know,
Yeah,
and
I
do
will
anything.
say that like the whole when Jon was telling her that like
We have bigger problems.
yeah, I felt like that
I-
was a little arrogant because he doesn't understand how bad listen,
Yeah.
Jon, you were dead for a while.
Yeah,
a lot of things happen when you're
exactly.
dead.
No, he's been so occupied at the Wall and with the North and the White Walkers that he has forgotten about everything else that's going on. And I think the White Walkers are the more imminent problem,
Right.
but he also has to, if he's going to be king of the North and be commander, then he has to consider all problems. And I think that's why he needs Sansa's help. And hopefully he lets her have more of a role.
Didn't she say that she learned a lot from Cersei?
Yeah.
That scared me. I just like, please don't.
Sansa's learned a lot from she's learned a lot from Littlefinger, and she's learned a lot from Cersei.
Well,
and-
Littlefinger's the real villain of all this.
I
Let's
love
just be honest.
Littlefinger.
He's just the real villain in all this.
I love his dresses.
He's very fashionable. I will say that Littlefinger's pretty fashionable, even for like.
He is.
It's like possibly like I would just say like maybe 10 degrees outside at the moment of the show, and he's out here with a dress.
Walking around in his casual
Essentially,
dress.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he makes his own dresses.
I don't think he's had a single like wound on his face. He's
No.
always been just like clean.
He stays looking good.
Yeah.
Good for Littlefinger. I mean, you can say what you want about him, but
Him and yeah, no, it's really just him. I was gonna name another character, but I was like, no, he's just the one that's always fashionable.
yeah, he looks good. And then leading into that, I mean, then right after she says, I've learned a great deal from her, it goes to Cersei. And a scene that we saw a lot in the trailer is her on the
Just
map
Wild.
that she has painting. Yeah, and I mean,
The shorter her hair gets, the worse she gets.
the scarier she gets.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, she's at her, I don't know, I don't want to say her low.
She's now, can we say, Mad King levels of
Yeah.
crazy, which is amazing considering her husband.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm very
Irony.
interested. That's the theory that I wanted to bring up was that because it was the Kingslayer that I forget his name.
Jamie?
Yeah, it was Jamie that killed the Mad King, right?
And for the same reasons that he might kill Cersei.
Yeah.
Is because it's gone too far.
Right.
And he doesn't want innocent people.
A lot of people were saying
Right.
that he's gonna kill Cersei just the same way.
Put a
that-
knife through her back.
Right, because
Yeah.
and the other thing was that Bran, in one of Bran's visions last season, the Mad King did show up. So we're gonna see, like, I feel like that's gonna be an episode that he's gonna see the Mad King, how that went down, and then Jamie's gonna do the exact same thing.
He should. I mean,
Which would be
honestly.
interesting.
And I think Cersei's actually pretty weak right now. You know, she has that moment where she's like, I'm ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. And he's like, no, you're the ruler of 3.
Yeah, because everyone else is against her.
Yeah, exactly. So she's not, I mean, she is the queen, but she's not very powerful.
Mhm.
And, I mean, she's obviously very broken from Tommen's death. She's not dealing with it. She's just kind of, like, closed herself off and, like, has lost all inhibitions and is just kind of going off the deep edge
Right.
at this point. And, I mean, that kind of leads into the next scene when Euron shows up.
Yeah, that was wild because I don't know if they're gonna do the thing that they did in the book because Euron in the book has it's like a instrument or some sort of tool.
Dragonborn?
Yeah, where you can command a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's the gift.
I think so. I really think so.
That'd be awesome if it is because that
Yeah.
just changes the whole show.
Yeah, because Euron's been traveling around, you know, the world collecting these artifacts and all these cool treasures, and I think that's what he planned. But if you remember from seasons ago, dragons can't be controlled by someone who's not their mother.
Right.
Except, I guess, if he has the horn, though. I mean,
See,
I don't know exactly
that's the
what horn
thing.
does.
Like that's the thing that makes me not confident that it is going to be because they established that in the beginning.
But if he has the horn, I mean,
Also, there is that, like, we still all believe that there's going to be 3 dragon riders. Because we did have that prophecy or something that it said there's going to be a 3-headed dragon at some point, which implies that there's going to be 3 different riders, which would be
hopefully
Jon
Tyrion.
and Tyrion.
Yeah.
Which would be very strange
that
to
would
watch.
be-
It would be very strange to see Tyrion. Because, like, he's not brave at all. He's just kind of like, I mean, he's kind of a coward, but you like him. So it's like
He's just-
watching him freak out on a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about him is he's a really smooth talker and he's really smart and really strategic, but he's never been like a warrior.
Right.
Or
He's had
anything.
people fight for him and stuff like that.
Yeah, which he's fine with. But I mean, yeah, that would be really interesting.
I miss Tyrion already. Like, he hasn't really said anything interesting, and I wanted to just...
Yeah, since the season 6 finale.
Did he even speak a word in this
No one
episode?
did. No one did with her. She was the only one who said something.
Weird.
But we'll get back. That's the ending scene.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Euron. I think he's interesting and I think he's funny.
I like the actor a lot.
Yeah.
The actor's pretty good.
I think he does a really good job portraying him. I loved his line, I have a fleet of ships in 2 good hands.
Right.
Like, he was really...
But wasn't he trying to marry Daenerys at one point? Like, wasn't that his plan? Now he just kind of wants to go with Cersei?
Yeah, he's just going wherever is convenient for him at this point. So it's like Yara and Theon took off to be with Daenerys and they're allied with her.
I guess they're still heading that way.
Yeah.
Did they ever show up?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Remember
did,
she
didn't
met? Yeah. she
I guess
met
they're on the way
with-
back then.
Yeah, they're all together.
Right.
So yeah, Euron's interesting. I'm curious to see what happens to him, and I hope we see more of him this season. And then right after Euron, we go and we check in with Sam at the Citadel.
I love the Citadel,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. There's something because it reminds me of the whole Doctor Strange library.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this just feels like Doctor Strange. I don't
Yeah.
like this.
Same.
It's also very interesting. I really hope we stay there for a while because I want to know more about like every piece of knowledge that they got there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they have a lot, and I think it's
Right.
something that really hasn't been covered in the show until right now. Like they've heard about it, they've talked about it. That's been Sam's like, dream, but we're finally just getting to see like who these people are and what they actually do.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think when we've checked in with Sam, it's basically he's not getting to do the work he wants to, and they're all kind of just, you know, they're not. He's not really respected.
Yeah, he's just like an errand boy in a sense.
Yeah.
Also, that the whole like montage of him cleaning.
I hated that. I really didn't. I was eating.
Yeah, me too. I was trying to eat dinner, and I was like, this is just too much.
I'm gonna eat dinner, watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then I get montage of cleaning feces and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then they like montage it with food.
Yeah, they montage it with food, feces, and him cleaning it.
I actually put my food down. I was like,
yeah, the sound effects were too good for that. Also, the scenes, like you could see it clearly, and it was just like, ugh.
No, it was way too much. Poor Sam.
It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't ever stop. And then right after that, they had a disemboweling scene. Where they just taking out organs and stuff, which I'm fine with in general.
Things are pretty gruesome over there, and I did not expect that from the Citadel.
See, that's the other interesting thing. It's like they're doing surgeries there, essentially. Mm-hmm. They have like a morgue and stuff. That's also like we had never seen that before.
No, I didn't know that. I thought they were just like books and research. And...
Right, because at this point we never seen anyone. We just like every time someone dies, just bury them or burn them. So like now they're actually like these people for some reason that I kind of want explained, even though I don't think there's a big explanation for it. It's just what they do. I want to know why they're doing that.
I wonder if it's like for learning purposes, like it's for their research.
I would assume that's the explanation.
So they can document it, yeah.
But at this point, we have so many wild things happening in the show. It's like I want them to be harvesting organs for like magical purposes.
The magic liver.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like I at this point, I want that to be a thing.
That would be cool. Sam discovers it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I definitely think Sam's gonna have a really big role in this season, in the next, like for the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. Like I think, because we'll get to it when we come up, when we check in on him later again, but like, he's already discovering stuff and learning, and it's only the first episode, and he's had one of the most impactful parts of the episode. And then, right after Sam, it goes back to Arya in that woods scene. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that was.
So we should, before we go into the thing that kind of ruined the episode, before we get into that, so the big thing from Sam, was that after the wood scene when Sam finds the book?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll get into the.
Yeah. It's Arya. I don't know what was that? Like, who are those guys?
I really hope that Ed Sheeran's a faceless man, because if not, then his whole, like the whole Ed Sheeran, for those who don't know, Ed Sheeran's a pop artist.
Just like a cameo, like.
Well, I guess
Ed Sheeran.
He's just a musical artist, right? So like, in this point, we never had like a big cameos like that, not like pop culture cameos in Game of Thrones, which I don't know, kept the show's integrity in that point. But now we have Ed Sheeran who's singing perfectly. Yeah. And it's like, it takes you out, because they even do that shot where he's like, you don't see the person who's singing, and then he just turns around and you stay on his face for like 20 seconds, and they're like, hey, look, it's Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
and I'm like,
it would be cool if he's a faceless man.
I hope so, because if not, that means they copped out for a cameo. And like, I don't get why.
And it's like, that scene has to be something bigger, because it's like, that was the last time we saw Arya in the episode, and it was like, what was the point?
Well, she was bonding with that with did they ever say his name?
No, but I know who you're talking about.
He's the one that gave her a piece of food or something. Mm-hmm. They bonded with, like, they kept showing that guy, so I guess he's gonna be more important.
Yeah, like she's gonna stick with them.
Right.
Or something.
I guess they came from King's Landing, I guess.
Yeah. And then, she had that moment where she was like, I'm going to kill the queen, and they like laughed, and then
she also inspected their swords, like she was going to kill them. I'm like, why would you do that?
She's just on edge.
I guess so.
She's just paranoid. But I think the biggest thing I took from that scene was that Arya has looked happy for the first time in a while.
I guess that could be another reason why they did that.
Like, she finally had a moment of joy and like relaxation. Like at the end when she's drinking and just like genuinely laughing, I was like, oh, that's nice to see, because
I guess that would make sense. And like you said about how she's on edge, because like she looked at the swords, then they showed her having fun. So I guess that could just be it. And that gives her a reason to travel, I guess. Yeah.
No, it was a cute scene.
Right.
And then, very fitting, the next thing we see is the Hound. You're from Arya.
I love the Hound.
To the Hound.
He's great.
He is. He's also had a really, really, really strong character development to, like, from the beginning to now. Like, he's softened so much, he's learned so much, and he's been humbled.
Yeah, he just converted from an atheist to a believer.
In one scene. And I loved what they did, where they revisited the house where he and Arya had been in a previous season, and I think one of the biggest things was like that he went and buried them, the skeletons. Like the Hound from the beginning would never have done something like that.
Yeah, the Hound from the beginning was just really a mercenary.
Yeah.
The only issue you saw he had was just like an issue with his brother that was unexplained in a sense, but
He just didn't care about anything.
Yeah, and now he's gone from not to caring about anything to caring about something, which now I guess he's mildly turned into a believer in the Lord of Light.
Yeah, and then I mean, one of the biggest parts of the episode was also like when he looked in the flames and what he saw, and it kind of shows like that there's some truth to the Lord of Light and the people that follow him, that it's something. And I mean, his vision of seeing the White Walkers and the arrowhead, and just showing that like all of this magic and stuff hasn't been for nothing, like it's real.
Yeah, because at this point we've had this. Remember that little girl that was burned alive because of the Lord of the Light, and at that point we didn't know that even meant anything.
Yeah.
And we had John resurrected, which gave us an inclination that magic is real.
It's real. Yeah.
And now we've got confirmed like it is real.
Yeah. No, and that was definitely one of the most important parts. So I was really happy to catch up with him and see where he is. And then also what I loved about that scene is that, I mean, you can see it like throughout the episode, but like winter has come.
Yeah,
like,
it's heavy
cold.
snow. It's heavy snow now.
Yeah, there are like very few safe places to go. Wherever Arya is, it seems pretty nice.
That's why I assumed she's right outside of King's Landing.
Yeah.
But like they're heading that way, and she's going that way, so I don't know why she's there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I think they said they were heading towards. That's right. They were heading towards Walder Frey, and they were heading to that area. Remember?
Oh, because they mentioned it.
Yeah. I think that's where they're getting. That's where they're going. So.
That's true. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. That's such a weird. That was the weirdest part of the episode because I don't understand what the point of that is.
Which the Arya meeting those
yeah.
guys.
Cause, I don't know.
We'll find out though. I feel like we'll find out in the next few episodes, like what. No, hopefully not the next few because there's only 7. So hopefully the next episode.
I would assume it. All right, we had a mishap. Our camera stopped recording. That's fine because Canons do that. Oops. So we can continue from here.
Yeah. So right after the Hound, we go back to Sam, and
yes.
This is probably the most important.
I would think so because it kind of relates. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the most important. Now we found out that in Dragonstone, the name of the episode, there is a mountain that is holding all the dragon glass.
And he's like, I gotta write to John.
Right.
Gotta let him know.
The other thing, okay, so just to clarify, the way that Sam found out about this, in the previous scene with Sam, there's a part where he sees like this sectioned off, like forbidden zone of books, and he asked to get access for it, and he gets denied, of course. So he just goes and gets in there. He steals a key, and he just goes in there and finds a book containing this information. So now he needs to write to John about this mountain that has all the dragon glass in it. Which
it'll come into play.
Yeah, it's gonna bring everyone together, essentially.
Yeah. No, I hope so. And right after that is my personal favorite part of the episode is when you see Jorah.
Yeah, okay, so that was the other thing. While Sam is walking around handing food off to, I guess they would be inmates, because he's...
I don't know if they're inmates or people that, like, because, I mean, like you said, like, why are they, like, embalming people and, like, moving their organs and stuff? I feel like it's all for research. Well, I mean, the last thing we saw was Daenerys told him, go find a cure. And so I guess he went to the Citadel and they're trying to find a cure for him.
That makes sense.
So they're like using him for research, like they're trying to find it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Sam probably will be the one.
But Jorah is fully
almost.
infected.
It was really gross to me, but it was really cool. But
they only showed about this much of his arm, but like all of it was covered.
But it was also like in bigger pieces than it normally is.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's like.
Is this like.
That little girl that had it.
Hers was like.
She's the cure.
Yeah.
She has to know, like, it has to be...
She had a cure. There is a cure. But I was like...
Do you think it's like a blood thing, like zombies, in a way?
I don't know. I wonder if it has something to do with, like, dragon glass.
Do you think... I think it might. It could be that she's... It could be dragon glass. But that's another thing. It's like... You know what we're going to have? And this is kind of like leading into the next part of the episode. You know what's going to happen?
What?
The people at the Citadel... I want the dragon glass to cure the Jorah. I'm sure they have other people there that are infected.
Yeah.
Then Jon needs it for the war. Daenerys is just Daenerys, and she's like, no, you can't have it. It's mine.
Yeah.
And Cersei's just gonna be there because she wants to kill everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
like, everyone's gonna fight each other while the White Walkers are gonna be there. They're gonna show up right when that's gonna happen. I bet. So everyone's gonna be screwed.
I don't know. I have a prediction.
Oops. Who's texting us?
That's you. That's not me.
Is it really?
I think so. That didn't sound like me.
I'm not gonna go and check it. It's fine. If it happens again, I'll go turn it off. My bad. That's unprofessional of me.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. And then right after you see Jorah, and just like personal, like you don't have to put this in there, but it really creeped me out. Like,
Oh no, of course.
I used to like him so much, and that just made me feel like creepy about it. Because then he's also like obsessing about Daenerys still.
Well, the thing is, like, we saw when Jorah got attacked the first time. Essentially, like the people that are infected are
Crazy.
that they're kind of like a zombie in a way.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. This is a reference to a movie, but I don't know if you ever seen 28 Days Later.
Mm-mm.
Basically, in that movie, it's like they're not really zombies. They're just infected people. So people that are just like sick, and what happens is that they just get delusional, want to like attack everybody.
Yeah.
So it's really just looks like the person becomes hostile. But in a sense, Jorah looks like he's, I don't know, because what happens is that when Jorah retracts his hand, they just show his eyes in the little like doorway.
And you can tell it's him.
It seems like Jorah has. I would think that he has some sort of like consciousness.
Yeah, he's there, and then because he asked about Daenerys, he's like, "Is she here?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Dragon Queen?"
So I wonder if it's like, I wonder if the longer you are infected, the more your brain deteriorates.
Oh, I'm sure, but I mean that's why like maybe he's kind of. He honestly maybe just should have killed himself, like he wanted to.
I mean, considering he didn't, that means he's still an important character, right? Because like if he's not,
No, I don't want to see him.
why? I do. At this point, I don't know. I want to see everything at this point. I want to see.
Shine the light on him.
I just want to see his rocky, gross face.
I don't, because I feel like Daenerys was like, "Go find the cure and come back to me." But when he actually comes back, she's gonna be like, "Well,
well, who's to say there's like a cure that really? Who's to say like the cure gets rid of all the, like?
It doesn't.
I think it would just.
Stop it.
It would just give you your mind back, but you would look like that.
Yeah, because the girl with the face, her face stayed that way.
Yeah, she just has a little bit on her cheek.
No, he's gonna be gross.
Yeah, George is gonna be a rock person essentially.
Oh, he's gonna be disgusting. But he wasn't even like a rock. Like it was like fleshy.
I thought it looked. I don't know. To me, it looked like it was rock-ish.
It was rock, but there was also like blood and like flesh. It looked.
You're probably
like.
right. It's probably just kind of like.
Like
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It just
It's
gross.
there's a video game that I can relate it to. The Last of Us. The clickers are kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fungal disease, and so like they kind of grow like a fungus rock thing on their head.
He's disgusting.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
Jesus, the man's like, listen, the man just wants to love this woman. I don't.
Well, now he's definitely not getting it.
It's creepy because I don't know if she's like old enough.
No, she definitely
She's
doesn't.
like a teenager, right?
She doesn't love him in that way. Yeah, she's in the books. I think she's like 14.
Yeah,
she may be like 16 or 17.
I think they bumped up the age in the TV show. At least I hope so. Or else
I
that's
mean,
really creepy.
Amelia Clark, she's actually like 30.
Is she really 30 right
Yeah.
now? I wish I could not age that like she does.
No, she looks great.
I know, she just still looks like she's 20.
Yeah, she does. But no, she's older. But I mean, no, George is just like, he really creeped me out. And like, I want to see him, but also I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I want to look away, but I have to look.
I guess he's just, I don't know, he's just in love with her because, like, he's watched over her for so long.
I know, but she's not going to love him. Especially
You
now.
know that?
She's not going to love him.
Really, Daenerys doesn't love anyone. It's just.
Yeah.
She liked Khal Drogo for like a little bit, but then he died, so it's like, yeah.
Then she hasn't moved on since.
Yeah.
And Jorah's disgusting. But.
Get wrecked, Jorah. Danielle disapproves.
No, I wouldn't accept him. I'd be like, all right, I know, like I said. I said what I said before.
I know. Listen. I know what I said, but you're a rock person now, so I'm sorry.
So maybe bye.
Bye. Go find a female that is also like you.
A rock
A
female.
rock female.
Hopefully he finds that. Yeah, we went off. So after we revisit Sam, the closing scene that the episode has built up to for the entire series, or the episode was building up to, and also like you've built up to the entire series, is Daenerys makes it to Dragonstone.
Her home.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally get to see like, well, I guess we were there in the first season, right? Technically.
No, they weren't. I think.
Well,
like,
where was she? Where was she with her brother before they left? I thought they were.
Where they were. No, they were because.
Oh no, because she was banished. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
had gotten
brother
banished.
was like, I wanted to go home, but they took it from us because
Yeah.
Stannis was there.
That made us believe that. Yeah. So I don't know. It everything in the first season must let us believe that it was kind of just broken down home.
Yeah.
But now it's fine. Like they just killed everyone there, I guess.
Yeah.
And they didn't even really. I mean, we don't know if there's any more Targaryens left. I mean, we know that Grand High Maester, from the old Grand High Maester in the Wall, was a Targaryen.
Yeah.
We know Jon's a Targaryen. Possibly Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope Tyrion is.
Hopefully.
Yeah. He is.
We'll just say it. Yeah.
I can.
Never a Lannister.
I can confidently say that Tyrion's one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we finally see their home, and it's really nice.
And it is, and it's like I think they did the moment perfectly. Like there was no dialogue. It was kind of just Daenerys, like Tyrion and Varys and Grey Worm. Everyone was there, but they were like behind her. Like it was her moment, and she was home. And I loved how silent it was, and I loved like when she knelt down and felt the sand. Like it was such a big moment for her, and I'm really happy that we got to experience it. And I felt like we experienced it with her.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment, and I guess the castle bears a very big resemblance to the King's Landing one. Like there's even like it's not an iron throne. It's made out of like, honestly, I think it's made out of dragon glass.
Oh.
In a way, because it looked kind of like, I don't know, it looked more rock-ish.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Everything there was kind of made of a certain stone.
Yeah, and I mean it's a nice place. She's got a nice place.
And it's called Dragonstone. So.
Right. Yeah. And then she kind of like goes to her battle map, and I think it's really cool because it ties into like Cersei started on a map, and she's like planning and she's strategizing, and then Daenerys ends the episode like planning and strategizing like on her map. So it's like the two powerful queens are both kind of like in the same place. And I almost wish she didn't say that last line, "Shall we begin?" Like I think it would have been way more powerful if it just ended.
Yeah, if you just had like a cool shot and then that was it. Like maybe her looking on to like. You could have just shown the mountain. I would have shown the mountain in the background.
Yeah, that would have been so much better than "Shall we begin?"
Because like I get it, we're starting a new season, but it's like
okay, like I was like fine, whatever. But
also the place looks very small. So how's there a mountain there?
Maybe we'll see more of it.
Maybe because to be fair, they didn't really show that much. But like when they're coming up onto the island, it didn't look like there was. I'm thinking now that the mountain is more like a cave.
Kind of.
It's just like, or it's under the castle or something.
There's obviously a lot more to it though, because like with the Dragonstone and everything, and then like Stannis isn't there anymore, is he? There's no Baratheons.
No, Stannis is dead.
Right. Well, I mean like his house, like it's not occupied at all.
I don't think so. I would assume that they're all gone.
Yeah. So I mean.
After he died, I think they just assumed that they just.
Did he live in Dragonstone?
I don't think so. It looked like it didn't. They didn't look like Stannis' war room.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that. It looked very. They could have just used the same set.
Can someone answer us?
Yeah. Can you comment down below to see?
Is Dragonstone where Stannis lived, or is there Dragonstone
I don't think so,
and
why
then
would they
there's
show
also
them?
Stannis's?
They're probably right next to each other.
So she can take that too.
Yeah, I mean, I figured like so.
Because there was a Baratheon banner in there.
Yeah, she took that down. So you might be right. Well, no, I think you know what that was. Because remember I bet when they ran out, all the Targaryens like killed them all. He probably just like put that there.
Yeah.
I think that was the symbolism.
Someone help us out.
I would assume that the symbolism was that the Baratheons took it away from her. Now she got it back.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, it's either symbolism or did he actually just live there?
That'd be weird. Because then that would mean they use the same set first of all.
I don't
why
think
would
he
they
did.
not? Why would they not?
I think it's because like even on the map that Sam was looking at, it's like kind of off.
Yeah, I mean, I just assumed that it was just like a symbolism thing.
So I mean, that was the episode. It was really satisfying. I'm excited for this week's.
A lot is happening.
Yeah. And so I think, do you just want to talk about like predictions for the season?
Yeah, we should.
Overall?
We'll do predictions for the season and then the next episode.
Okay. So my prediction for this season is, me and Jackson talked about this a lot, and it's either that I think this first season is going to focus on like Daenerys getting the throne and defeating Cersei, and meeting up with Jon and allying with him. And then the next season is going to be about all of them defeating the White Walkers. Or vice versa. This season is going to be about defeating the White Walkers, and then the next season is going to actually be about the fight for the throne.
I could see it being the latter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I think that Jon, you know what? I think you might be right with the White Walkers first.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still have like this internal struggle with not only Sansa and Jon, Cersei and Jaime, and then there's Daenerys.
Yeah.
So it's like I can see Jon helping Daenerys get Cersei out, and then Sansa felt betrayed, I guess, by Jon. So now it's just everyone's vying for the throne.
Yeah.
But I think this season, I don't see how they wouldn't do this considering
the White Walkers.
Well, the thing is, like,
you think the White Walkers are first?
I would assume so because you have this. It has to be because they're on their way, but like.
Yeah, I mean you can't pull them off for that much longer.
Right. So you're probably right. But
and the whole theme for the season is winter is here.
Right, and the other thing is like, Bran has to tell Jon that he's a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that could be another thing, is that maybe the other scenario would be that Jon doesn't want to kill Daenerys because he feels like he's killing his own family.
Yeah.
And that can have him has an internal conflict. Is like, is he a Targaryen or is he a Stark? Yeah, is he a Stark? Because it's like what. Yeah. That could be a cool internal conflict of like, I don't know what to do.
And then, I mean, the trailers also showed a lot of like, it looks like White Walker fighting and like a lot of winter stuff. So it's like, it would make, I would want them to take care of the White Walkers first. Because, I mean, you can't drag it out much longer. They're coming, they're on their way, they're finding the dragon glass, they're getting ready. Like, you can't put it off till next season. Right. Like, just get rid of them now, like, deal with it now, and then the final season is the actual Game of Thrones. Like
it would probably be an epilogue-esque season. And the last season, I'm assuming, would be an epilogue. Like, this has to be the ending of the show, but it's an epilogue. Because you've been, like, the entire series has been leading up to this, right? Mm-hmm. And I think even the first season started, like, after winter, right?
Yeah.
So that could be a nice, like, wrap-up, is that it starts where it ended, or it ends where it started.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. All I know is I want them to take care of the White Walkers. Like,
I just want to see White Walker giants. I want to see them fight.
I know. Like, we haven't really seen much of them, like, in a while. And even, like, the parts that we have seen, it's nothing compared to all the stuff we've seen. Like,
we still haven't really got that much backstory on, like... I know that at one point the White Walker, I guess, king was a human. Mm-hmm. And they killed him. Right? They murdered him.
Was it with dragon glass?
They murdered him on the tree. It was like the fairies or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, that turned him into the White Walker.
Didn't they do it with dragon glass?
I think so.
Someone help us out again.
Everyone's evil in the show, man.
Everyone's evil.
It's all the fairies' fault. It was all the like.
Well, they just wanted, like, protection.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
but
like,
at what cost? Like,
exactly, like
someone else. Yeah.
Everyone sucks in this show.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's why I love this show. It's like there's no good really. It's always either you're like it's like the lesser of two evils. You always gotta choose.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of someone who's like purely good. I mean, it was Ned Stark.
Ned or Sam?
Oh, Sam. Yeah.
Sam kind of.
Yeah, he killed that White Walker that one time, but I mean.
That's not really evil though.
Yeah, that's just like protecting himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Sam and Ned.
And I would say Jon, but Jon's turned into something
else.
Nah,
Jon has always been like...
He's definitely a hero archetype.
He's like an anti-hero.
Now, he used to be just a hero, I think. And
no, because remember he wanted to just kill wildlings and he didn't really care until he fell in love with one, right?
I mean, yeah.
I feel like he's always been an anti-hero.
But even Ned, like, was okay with killing people because just of the time, like, it's just something that happened. Like, you have to behead people.
You're right.
So it's like, I think Jon was the purest in the show for a while, and then after he died and came back, things have just been rough. Honestly, probably the purest person in the show has been Ramsay.
Ramsay is pure evil. I guess the other thing I really hope that happens in this season is that I hope that we finally... I want this theory to be true, is that the White Raven, or the three-eyed raven, It's just Bran traveling back in time to make everything happen again.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
to turn himself back into the
I
three
never thought
arena.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know what's like more of what's going on with him, because like I said, this first episode we only saw him get to Castle Black. It's like,
Right.
okay, but what now?
We never seen his
What are you
reaction
gonna
to
do?
Jon being a Targaryen.
No, like we haven't seen anything. So like I want to see. So, and then I also thought all of these episodes were supposed to be like an hour and a half.
I think the later
They're
ones are
not.
going to be. I think the later ones are an hour and a half. I think the last two are. Because they released that information. They said like 50. It's always 50 minutes usually. And then like the last few are 60 to 70 minutes.
Whatever. This one was 62.
Just don't wait. Like the last I'm assuming the last. I would hope that the last season is just a 3-hour movie. Like,
That would be good.
I could see them making a Game of Thrones movie. I don't want it. But, I mean, I could see it happening.
Phil try. They're already talking about like spin-offs and stuff.
I don't want that. Just
I don't want it either. Just end it. It's a good
it's
thing.
too much.
It's a good thing. Just don't ruin it. Don't
like,
kill it.
They never made a Simpsons spinoff. That's been going on for like 20, 30 years. 40 years,
Just-
actually.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Just kill the White Walkers.
Put someone on the throne.
I guess put Daenerys on the throne.
Yes.
Because, I mean, who else would it be at this point?
Yes.
Kill Cersei and Jaime. And then the Lannisters would be no more. Then it would just be, Jon hanging out in
Wonderful.
Winterfell, because at that point the Targaryens would win, and that's another thing. The show might end with just the Targaryens having a redemption arc, like
Yeah.
like at the very beginning the Targaryens were wiped out, so they thought, all
Now
the
they're back.
Targaryens rule
Yeah.
the
Jon,
kingdoms.
Danny, and Tyrion.
Yes.
So, I think that's all we have to say about it. It was a really interesting episode. Thank you for tuning in and seeing what we thought. Please comment your theories
Yes.
and predictions and
We want to hear
thoughts.
your thoughts.
If you think we're wrong, if you think we're dumb, like just
I
let
don't
us
know what you think we'd be wrong about, but
Yeah. Let us know.
if you're mad at us for reviewing the show and spoiling it for you,
We warned you.
give
in
us
the
your
beginning.
mean comments.
Yeah,
Make sure you
let
leave a
us
like
know.
on Facebook though and share it.
Yeah. Like us on Facebook, follow us,
On
subscribe.
YouTube, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, and Snapchat.
All that
All
good
at
stuff.
CoogTV, I think. Don't quote me on that.
CoogTV.
Find us on all those social medias.
Yeah, please. And so that's all. Thank you. Please tune in next Tuesday for the next recap. And
Episode 2.
Episode 2. We'll see you then. My name is Danielle Jacobo.
And I'm Eduardo Flores.
It's been Coogs and Reviews. Bye.